My name is Olasukobi Oyebayo. I'm not alone on the program.
Yes, a great morning to you all our viewers. I am Joy Akinola. Thank you so much for joining us today.
While still waiting for our guests to come into the studio, we want to look at, today we'll be looking at the process of selection of an Oba in Yoruba land. You know Yoruba is a specially made brand. Let me call it that way. We have ways of doing things.
Yes.
We have our customs, we have our traditions. When it comes to kind of foods we eat, the way we dress, the way we marry ourselves, the way we bury our aged parents, and even when a young man or woman dies, there are special way of burying special people. Today we just want to pick one of these ways of doing things, because we define culture as a way of doing things. How do we in Yoruba land select a Oba to occupy a vacant throne? We know we are here to live for a moment. Whether a king, the Babaloja, Iyaloja, that young boy or that young woman, we are not here to live permanently. Do you understand now? So when an Oba joins his ancestors, how do we fill the vacant stone? So this is what we'll be looking at this morning. You are now coming up. At least during this last 30, 20 years of you, something must have happened somewhere. You know of any story?
Just the Oni of Ife. I think the Oni of Ife is the recent one that we have witnessed. Maybe for Osun State or your state, Oni of Ife is still the one I've witnessed. And of course, looking at the colonial master, which is the British selection, we could see how sweet that was. And one of the questions I am having in mind to ask our guests is the sweetness and perfection of selecting the new king in British, and why a town like Oyo town is having so many chaos in selecting their own Oba.
Okay.
I mean, during the Oni of Ife, I think it was a bit fast. It was not as slow as this Oyo town, where we have not seen another laughing of Oyo. But I don't know, that's one of the things I want to ask.
You want to ask the guest when it comes. We hope he will join us very soon. But while still waiting for him, one thing that we know is their system that are banned in some time, like in Ibadan. It is a ranking method. If you are a chief occupying a seat, you graduate.
The king,
God sparing our lives. You know when this happened, this will happen. And I think same thing in Modake. So these are things we would love to ask our guests this morning. But aside this, there are some issues that will say, okay, how many, we know in Yoruba land, in times we have what we call royal houses. Like in my own town, we have royal houses. We call ourselves Olomoba. Do you understand? On the Olomobas. Olomobas are people, prince and princesses from each of the royal houses. They constitute the Olomobas. Aside this is what we call the kingmakers, senior chiefs. They are the people who are saddled with the responsibility of selecting. It's a pity, I guess it's not here. And a very first person that we have invited to come and do this justice, we hope he's going to join us very soon, because I don't want to say things. He's a prince himself.
He knows.
Prince Oyetunde Oyeshiji. He's a prince himself, and he knows the way things are done. And while still waiting for him, I just want to delve into something that in Yoruba land, Omo Yaki da now, Abi, Omo Baba, Wani Omo Badirawo, and I don't want things to be like that. We should do things where things are done. Our forebears, they have the way they do things. I think I was somewhere where a house is being roofed. Have you ever been there where a house is being roofed? You see, the late carpenter will say, by the time he wants to raise up the first plank, he will ask senior people around that, oh, Kawa Sowo Inopako. And when the most senior pays, you see others pay. After. They will pay. They will collect. All the carpenters will collect the money together. And when they finish that assignment, they will bring the money together and share. Do you understand? And you see, if my brother, Lukman here, is the one that is roofing his house, I will go there. I will ask my wife, give us a bowl of eba and abono ilasu. We take that. You are the younger sister. You maybe it's your you say kinika sheo. You will be asked to bring 4 or 5 parts of the bottled water. Do you understand now? These are things be washing shape. Do you understand now?
Yes.
And that is the question we are trying to raise here this morning. In Yoruba towns around us, the question to them is, are you doing it the way it should be done? Shall shape be washing shape? Because in some cases we say we will need to consult an oracle. The oracle will choose and will announce. And once the oracles are given what they needed, do you understand? You know anything about consulting an oracle?
Of course, we hear it. We see
you hear it.
Yeah.
Oracle, this is Yoruba land. I'm not talking British matter now. British matter before the passage of the Queen. We know that King Charles will be coming up. And eventually King Charles came up and he was installed. It was no gazing about that.
Yes, it has been
And I think I was watching the television yesterday. I saw that the British had already developed new notes. The pounds is coming up. The face is already there.
Yes,
You see the face. When you see the king, you see the face on the pound. So I'm looking at a date when in Natal we'll see the face of our Oba on our notes that we'll be spending in Natal. Why are you laughing?
No, unfortunately we are far behind that. We are far behind that. I mean, to me, I just believe that I don't know if let me look at the way to structure this. But technically, before we know that the Obas, the royal house have always been the one heading the country, heading the state.
Monarchical system in some places.
Monarchical system.
We are in a democratic setting here.
Democratic setting. And even though we are not in a democratic setting, I believe that to some certain extent, there should still be a power that the royal house will hold.
For sure. That's why we are talking of constitutional responsibility of traditional institutions.
There are so many ills in the society that they should say and immediately change.
When about number talks, it becomes another. Nobody stops it. Do you understand?
But are people following it?
That's the question you are asking now.
That's the question. Are people following it?
That's the question you are asking now.
Homage to the things that the Obas are saying. Because when evils are going on in the society, the Oba comes, of course, they know the truth. They know the right things to be done. They come, they make orders and say, okay, this should stop in the society. But so many evils are still
let me just sing a song to establish that. Like a man sope, like Olubo, Akebo, Meje. Nayi Arisa, Olugbo Arisa are former obas in their wards there. And the Olugbos, the Arisas there are authorities on their own. And when Olugbo talks, when Arisa speaks, it is an order. Now, the Constitution of the Federal Republic today had already earmarked some roles for a traditional institution. The question is, how much of these are they carrying out? And carrying it out, the question is, how are they carrying it out? Are they there?
Yes.
Are they there? The 2023 is the election is around the corner. I see an Oba in a town as father to all, irrespective of your political party, irrespective of my own political party. An Oba in my town should be my father.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
When I go to him as a member of XYZ party, when you visit him as a member of PJK party, we should be treated equally.
Yes.
So also is the religious institutions. A pastor in a church, a bishop of a communion, should not be seen as going with the candidate.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We should not be seen as going with the candidate. They should be a father. If it is prayer, let's pray. Gbogbo èrò ọkàn yín á ṣẹ o. Gbogbo èrò ọkàn yín á ṣẹ o. Ohun tẹ́ ẹ fojú sùn á tẹ̀ yín lọ́wọ́ o. That is all. Ẹni tó bá wá tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́, ó mọ̀ kó tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Ẹni tí ò dẹ̀ tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. One thing we say in Yoruba land, gbogbo wa la lè dún oyè, ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo wa kọ́ la lè jẹ oyè. Do you understand that's what? That we can all contest. If you are a royal son, you are an heir apparent. But not everybody will emerge as a king. Yeah. And once a candidate emerges, it is expected of you and I as co-contestant to support.
Support the candidate.
So as a woman, you want to appeal to people all over Yoruba land, wherever they have a vacancy too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I believe that we all should work together. Working together has never turned something bad, except we're all working together for bad, and it's not possible for everybody to put their heads together and face a bad decision. So even in today in our society, I believe that people should endeavor to still have faith and have hope in the country. So we have to work together, and our religious leaders, the pastors, as he has rightly said, the imam and all of that, should work together. We should not work against each other. Of course, we have different religion and all. As far as we are serving one God, and we all have one goal, to make this country a place where everybody can live peacefully. So it means that we just have to come together and do the right thing. What they are saying in the church is to protect you. What they are saying in the mosque is also to protect you. So why should we put our head against each other and start fighting? All of that should not be. And of course, for the coming election, we already know that at this period, we just have to do it together. We are talking about the Yoruba home. We are talking about the Yoruba family. We are talking about, we know that a lot is going on, and we need to put the right people in position. So even if Yoruba and Yoruba are still fighting, I think that we are still not in the right place. We just have to come together and do it one.
Okay. Now while I'm going that way, I want to say this. You see, if there's going to be crisis somewhere today, those that will foment that trouble are not going to be angels.
Of course.
They're not going to fall from nowhere.
Yes.
There are people living amongst us. And by extension, they are fathers in a home, their children in a home. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Who are their father? Àwọn wo ni bàbá àwọn ọmọ tó ń dà lóru yẹn? Àwọn wo ni màmá àwọn ọmọ tó ń dà lóru wọn yẹn? Do you understand?
Yes.
That is the question. So that is where we're going to talk about the family matter that's where we're going to talk about responsible parenting.
Yes, yes.
There is parenting, but I want to make it a big name now. Responsible parenting. Because if I am a good parent to my children, if you are a good parent to your own children, they will behave normally in town. And this is where it becomes the responsibility of Baba Kabiesi. The meaning of that name is no unquestionable person. Kabiesi. Kabiesi teje. Báwo lẹ ṣe ń lò ó? Are you calling community meetings? We learned that you are, it's known that you are the leader. You are the leader in that society, and nobody stops you. Do you understand? And we must see you as doing that responsibility. The country must go. The country must develop, and we must do all that is needed at every point in time. And I must say to us again that our guest is sure that our guest is not coming. He's on his way, but we have less than 5-6 minutes. It happens like that occasionally. But if he comes in here, I will ask for the grace to give him just 10 minutes in the next segment, and that's what we're going to do. So, viewers out there, please don't mind us this morning. Okay.
All right. Yes.
If somebody comes very early yesterday, if somebody is coming late today, it happens occasionally like that. We are on responsible parenting.
Yes, responsible parenting.
You understand now?
Yes.
Yeah. If you are not today, very soon you become a mother. And I want you as a woman to please talk to our women, our mothers, our grandmothers, to please be a responsible mother.
Yeah, very key, very key. So it is what we have noticed that so many parents have taken away looking after their children for looking for what the children are going to eat. And I think that this is very important.
It's responsible parenting.
We know that these two things are important. You have to look after the children, and of course you have to look for what they will eat. But even looking at these young children at school, you see them on catered for, the way they come to class with tattered clothes and all of that. Now, some that you can't even prepare what they will wear to school. How are we sure that you are impacting knowledge, you are impacting morals, you are impacting even their culture, their language? So then, you don't even have time to take their baits and wear their clothes. Not to talk of you doing things that it is when you have, because of course I talked so much about parents' relationship with their children. Relationship with children is mostly built on communication. You have to be able to communicate with your kids. If you are not communicating with your kids, there is no way you want to teach them. You can't just enforce things on young children. Of course, we already know that. It's not that they are stubborn. It's not that this younger generation are different. It's just because the world is now exposed at large. You can't just come from nowhere and enforce and say you must do. You have to bring the reason why they are doing this. Why should I? Okay, you cannot go to that place. Why can't I go to that place? Not that you tell them don't go there. Of course, the child will be tempted to say, let me go there and see what will happen. And unfortunately, when the child goes there and nothing happens, then the child continues to go there.
You know what we started with? Yeah. There are some what we call the folklores, folktales and others, and you ended that admonition by saying don't do it. And in some instances, some children would bear their parents or try to become deviant and try to find out that what will happen if I do it. You see, there are no common, there are no pathways that we were used to when we were younger. I don't think nobody is teaching them again. How much of their life pathway do you know?
I know very few, and that's even when my grandma was still
very
agile. That's when she used to tell us stories. But of course, for the past 5 years, I'm not sure I've heard any stories.
you see, they will tell you a story, and they will ask questions after telling you the stories that come from the story you listen to.
What did you learn?
What moral?
Yes.
And you see children raising up their hands and say, also Igboro.
Yes.
Igboro is being deviant.
Yes. Being disobedient. Yes.
Being disobedient.
Yes.
And what punishment? They will ask again that because of his disobedience, what followed?
What should we do? Yes.
Now they will say, he lost this. He was beaten by a snake. That animal spiked him and some other things like that. These are consequences. So in Yoruba land as well, we should know that when we don't do things the way they ought to be done, there are bound to be consequences of not doing the things the way they ought to. So it's these consequences that is a purpose for this program today. Negative consequences. And we are like, we don't want these negative consequences.
Yes, to come over.
Do I say something again? It's a common place that we say now that if Obama, that the oracle do not choose things again. It is either the dollar or pounds.
The education of that person. Yes.
No, we need to look into those things. More reasons why parents should, if you are preparing somebody for tomorrow, prepare him or her fully.
Yes.
You call me a prince. A prince should be dressed in so many things.
Yes.
And when you see a prince, you don't want to see a prince in a tattered cloth. I was somewhere last week and I was talking about the late Ooni of Ife, Oba Kwande Shiduade. And each time I say that about during his lifetime, I see reality. Yes. I was somewhere when Baba Okiyo was celebrating. I was the one that do the MC there, or the 40th anniversary. I like what I saw there. During the lifetime of Baba, after Adeyemi, these are normal. You understand? When they put on, you want to take a photograph and go and give it to your tailor. Can you give me something like this? I think I was with the some colleagues who visited the Ragbiji of Ragbiji sometimes, and we saw a picture of one cloth. They write underneath Dandogo. Do you know Dandogo? Yeah. You know Dandogo? Hey, Dandogo Koja Binuda. I will show you the picture after this. Okay. You will love it. You will love it. And these are things that Yorubas are known for. Unfortunately, this morning our guest is not here. We even tarried 2 minutes behind schedule, hoping that he will join us. And I was going to ask for an extension from the next segment. But since he's not here, we must go now.
Of course.
John, we must go.
Yeah.
And we thank our viewers out there for being part of the show this morning. John, it's my pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I am Joy Akinola.
Our Christmas is around the corner. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.